all you people doing? It's Mitchell Lea, Tommy Grant, Connor VanDemark. Weekly recess here on Jersey Nerds Productions. Boy, so we all just want to shoot ourselves in the head, don't we? This is not a happy podcast. This is a podcast of wasted potential and just seasons that are slowly approaching down the drain territory if they aren't there already.
I want to take this opportunity already to grab the baton and just say, I told you so, Mitchell. I fucking told you so.
See, but here's the thing. And you know,
Mitchell,
fuck you, bitch.
He did tell you so.
You know, but here's the thing. Okay, if you look at basically every statistical category, the Jets are like the most average-ass team in the NFL.
Yeah,
and yet they're they should be a 4-4 team if they had competent coaching, a kicker with working legs, quarterback that could call the play on time. It's just really weird stuff because like I see everyone saying that the Jets are going to beat the Texans on Thursday night.
Nope.
Every single person I see saying that. Well, just because the Texans are really banged up at receiver right now. And their interior offensive line is really, really bad. Because the Texans aren't a good 6-2 team from what I've seen. They've got their major holes, but at the same time, Connor, I'm gonna say something that might surprise you. The last few weeks have broken me in ways I have never been broken as a Jets fan, because this team just invents ways to fucking lose games that they absolutely shouldn't. In the history of the National Football League, if you score plus 20 points, you don't turn the ball over, you hold your opponents under 250 yards, before Sunday it was like 652 straight wins, no losses. And then the dumbass Jets come along and find a way to lose that game. They invent ways to lose games that make no damn sense whatsoever. Whether it's the fact that your two-time All-Pro cornerback just forgets how to tackle or play the ball whatsoever. The fact that your quarterback... Honestly, Aaron Rodgers has been average. People keep saying that, oh, it's his fault. And, like, maybe personnel-wise and as far as, like, giving him control of the organization.
That's blame. That's the point. That's the blame I'm giving him.
But as far as the on-field play, this is the best quarterback Jets season I've seen since Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. Now, granted, that's not a high bar to clear at all, but he's been very okay. He's been average. If I had to grade him, I'd give him like a C or a C-. I think that a lot of the receivers have been very spotty when it comes to making plays for him. Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard will make some giant catch, and then they'll drop something that seems a little bit more easy and straightforward. The offensive line, as far as the pass blocking goes, they've improved. I think they've gotten better, but this offense really goes as Breece Hall goes, and it seems like every time you give them the ball on first down, it gets a yard or two maybe, and we just have to do better than that. The defensive line was built with Saleh with the intention of being deep and being able to rotate guys, and that's just not the case anymore. Michael Clemens is an unplayable football player. He is just atrocious, and every time I see him take the field, I just want to, like, pull the stadium fire alarm or something just so that everyone has to evacuate, because this guy sucks. I mean, between him and Greg Zuerlein, it's like two people that just should never be wearing not just Jets jerseys ever again, but NFL jerseys, like even like watch at the bar. I don't want them to be allowed to wear NFL apparel with how bad they have played. This is an average team that has found a way to be awful because, hey, it's the fucking Jets.
Jets football, baby. Jets football, baby.
It's broken me. It's broken me.
I've been waiting for this moment because, let's be real, I know it wasn't on last week, but like as of like week 6, week 7, I was like ready to accept this reality of mediocrity, and that's what. And honestly, it's not even mediocrity. It's
2-6 ain't fucking mediocrity.
As in,
Last year was mediocre.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Oh,
Now, I'm not saying that they can't end up. I saw someone saying, I kind of agree. This feels like a 2019, where 2019 the Jets started off season from hell and they finished like 7-9. It feels like the Jets are kind of headed in that direction where you go, wait, how do they finish 8-9 or 7-10? And it's just because they finished that way, but they never felt like they were actually competing for a playoff spot. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm never gonna say die until we get that 8th loss, because I think that 9-8 gets you in the playoffs in the AFC. But the Jets have already lost to the Broncos and the Steelers, 2 teams that they might be competing with for that spot. So the 8th or 9th loss is when I'll officially start putting dirt on the season. But I'm going ahead and at least figuring out what area of the land I'm going to bury them.
Like, again, to me, this offense has never been clicking. Like, they're currently in the bottom third of points for.
Aren't we always?
I know. It is tradition. Again, like to me, it's more so like this is the personnel that Aaron Rodgers wanted, and we gave him what he wished for, and guess what? Still sucks. So, just football. And the other thing, too, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, is that media circus. There's always some bullshit going on with the Jets. No, and when I heard them first talking about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets in the first place, like, this guy's going to a goddamn darkness retreat of all goddamn things, and like it's just comical how much that because it's a circus. It's what it is. It is a clown show with clowns. Exactly. With a clown coming out of the car every single season with a new face. But it's the same goddamn car.
Now I got cayenne pepper and water. Like, what?
Don't do that voice ever again.
I'm not even mad at Aaron Rodgers from like the on the field standpoint, but like I never want to hear this fucking dude speak again.
No,
like I'm just tired of hearing all of his like, well, Devontae gave a great speech. Yeah, and then you lost the worst team in football. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like I actually feel like when they talk about like, well, I'd love to sit here and say that we're close, but what does being close get you? It's like, thank you. I'm glad you're saying it, because like I'm so used to all the Jets coaches being like, man, we're so close, like it's gonna click, and then we go 4-12, and it's like, we're still waiting on the click, buddy. But these guys are saying all the right things, and it doesn't matter at all because the result doesn't change.
Yes, very much so.
It's so frustrating. It's so angering, and yet
you keep watching.
I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching, and if they beat the Texans, I won't be like back in. I think this team has to get to around 500 before too long for me to really be back in. But now it's just kind of like me having a side eye on it, right? Like, all right, at least give me something to smile about.
Like,
but there's nothing to smile about.
I've watched the Jets so often in my life now because I find joy watching them, because I just giggle every time they fuck up, and I go, "Oh, Mitchell's probably screaming at his TV."
All right, bitch, let's talk about the fucking Dolphins now.
Hey,
all right, let's talk. What? Oh no, you don't get to do the. Hey, we know we're bad. You had expectations too this season.
Yeah,
you had expectations.
They went
and
down
they met
the
them.
drain.
Tua got hurt.
They went down the drain the second Tua got injured. Granted.
Oh, let's not act like Tua's been playing great.
He was never playing great. Not this season. Last season, yes. This season, no. But still, the second he went down, I was like, yep, season's over, whether he comes back or not. Granted, I was surprised he came back and actually played somewhat decently. But
sliding early, good for him, learning lessons.
Yeah, I think he's.
This is also the same guy that he said. Every time I hear him speak, I go, I really don't like you, do I? Because he was like, nope, I'm not going to wear a Guardian cap. That's a personal choice. And I'm like, yeah, I wonder if he took the vaccine. And then today he was being asked about a safety, and he was like, well, I'd like to see other people try to make that play sitting on the couch eating potato chips. It's like, but it's your job.
These are athletes,
where
not
did that-
public speakers. I never expect any athlete to come out with anything intelligent to say.
Yeah, but usually with a quarterback, you at least kind of think, all right, if someone's going to have a well-rounded answer, it's going to be the quarterback. You're not getting the Trayvon Diggs analyze these nuts from the quarterback. I don't know if y'all saw that.
I know that one. That's a good pull right there.
You're not getting that from the quarterback. Your quarterback is supposed to. It's the issue that you have with Rodgers. You don't want him to give. You don't want him to say, yes, it's my fault, and then also say, but Mike Williams wasn't doing this, and the offensive line wasn't doing this. You expect your quarterback to just kind of shoulder all the blame and give a very diplomatic answer. And,
I wouldn't say shoulder the blame. I would just say a baseline of accountability. That's what we ask of them. And because of the fact that a lot of it runs through their hands, simple enough. Like, that's the reality of quarterback. But like,
all right, Tommy.
You know what? I at least have a team that's getting receiving yards. I can at least say that because the last couple of weeks, nothing, just kept running the fucking ball.
Achane looks a lot better now.
Yes, and I'm thankful because he was on my fantasy team, so he's been racking.
Yeah, I made a buy low trade for Tyreek.
But all those
Nice.
that had Tyreek Hill thinking he was going to be the best freaking receiver again this year, sorry for those people because he hasn't gotten jack shit. But he finally got some touches this week. But
in my buy low trade for Tyreek, I also gave up Jalen Waddle, and I was more than happy to do that because Waddle's just kind of like faded out.
that's an
Waddle
upgrade
has
to
been
me.
disappointing this year. Monster's definitely picked up the pace, and Achane's really taken the brunt of everything.
But now it's like you look at the next 2 games for Miami.
Yeah,
At
it's not gonna
Buffalo,
be good.
at the Rams.
Tua's going to get fucking injured again by the Bills this week, and he's going to be down for the rest of the season. That's what's going to happen.
And then you get the Raiders and Patriots, and it's like, all right, home games against the Raiders and Patriots. But then it's at Green Bay, Jets, at Texans, Niners, at Cleveland, at the Jets. I just don't think that Miami, like, there's a lot of 2-win teams in the AFC that you're like,
their season is done. Regardless
All right.
of how well, unless Tua makes a miraculous comeback and actually really starts playing well like he did last season, the team's done. They might get 1 or 2 wins, but I don't see it happening.
Hey, they already had their bye though, so technically they're 2-5.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
But hey,
So
you never know. Our teams might turn around, but we'll see.
they have a better win than the Jets do right now, sadly speaking.
That's true.
yeah, I mean, who have the Dolphins beaten? They beat Jacksonville
Jacksonville
and the Patriots. And the Jets have beaten the Patriots and the Titans. Good Lord, this is bad on both teams.
Yeah.
This is just really, really bad. What stood out to you guys? Wow, we're already at week 8. That's insane to me.
Well,
Yeah.
week 9 upcoming, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it moves too quickly.
They're flying by
I'm
this
gonna
year.
say the Raiders holding their own against the Chiefs. I was
The takeaway
expecting
was the Raiders.
that was one of them. Yes, I wasn't expecting them to play that well against the Chiefs.
Dude, they didn't.
It was a close game though. It's a 1-point game.
It was a 7-point game.
What, like a touchdown, you fucking asshole.
Well, that's not 1 point. That's 7
score
points.
He means 1 score.
You fucking asshole. I mean, Mahomes, the Chiefs are just strange, as in they're very unfun to watch, but they get the job done. They're a very defensive team. I think Mahomes has played better than the stats would make it look like he's playing. The DeAndre Hopkins trade really doesn't move the needle for me too much because of the way that the Chiefs play, for one, and the fact that I just don't know how much. I don't really think Hopkins has much left in the tank.
Yeah.
so I didn't get
I
to
know the
watch
same
this
thing.
game. I didn't get to watch this game, but the game that actually did stand out to me was the Ravens upset with the Browns.
I told people, I said that just not having Deshaun Watson there was going to be enough to have the Browns just kind of have a spike week.
Oh,
And
I'm a huge crab legs fan. Like Jameis Winston, baby, all
yeah,
day long. I've been a huge rooter for him as like not just fantasy owner, but like overall as a player. Because yeah, he throws picks, but guess what? He's willing to also just bomb it, and he can.
Yeah.
My answer would be honestly, even though it was a grudge match, the Chicago Washington game
Yeah,
ended
that
in a
was
very fun, ended in a very funny play. If you don't have not seen it, but it's already memed up into everywhere. But like the fact that like the Bears defense shut down a very good Washington offense from what we've seen.
Yeah.
And they should have won that game. Simple enough. They got beat by a Hail Mary pass. And I'm still high on the Bears. So like I thought that it got away from them a little bit, but no, I think that they are still a capable team. That they're in a very tough division, but I think they can at least I think they can fight for a playoff spot. And to me, that's a win for the Bears.
well, it's actually a loss for the Bears because they lost the game.
No shit,
But
Sherlock.
I also think it's a loss for the Bears because I thought Caleb Williams played horribly in that game. I just thought that he looked like he had no idea what to do with the football whatsoever. That's the kind of loss that puts a lot of doubt into your coaching staff. It's the kind of loss that calls the maturity of the team into question. And the NFC North is just a division that you can't really give up any ground in because every team is so loaded in the NFC North. I mean, they're at last place at 4-3. That's insane. The NFC is a lot more depth. I mean, right now they're 4-3, and they're not a wild card team. If the year was to end today, they'd be behind Green Bay, Philadelphia, and Minnesota, and then there's a bunch of teams in the 3-4 win area. You got Dallas, Tampa, and all of the NFC West. So a loss like that could end up being huge for the team. It all depends on how they recover from it, and they have a giant game in Arizona this week where both of those teams are kind of, I don't want to say heading in two separate directions, but if the Cardinals win that game, it'll kind of define, like, all right, there's a fork in the road and how the season could have gone, and you have this loss that kind of snowballed.
They're
And
currently
the
sitting in
Bears
eighth.
can't do that.
They're currently sitting in 8th place right now. So they are a win back in Minnesota and the Eagles. Who's the Eagles? They are the most rocky situation to me in that playoff picture at the moment because they play well, but at the same time I have no confidence in them.
Man, they beat the hell out of Cincinnati. Like I agree with you to an extent, and I still need to see a little more from Jalen Hurts because I think the Bengals are just kind of toast. If we're being honest, they really look bad,
especially the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, well, the Cardinals, Bears game. That's that holds a lot of weight for both teams, and I think it'll be a very good game because it's the Cardinals offense versus the Bears defense, and it really does come down to Caleb Williams. And I guess he's a rookie. Like, he's going to have some hiccups. That's fine. I understand that. But they're still staying competitive. And for being in such a grueling division that they are, like as an outside observer, from what we've seen with the Bears last year, I think this is they're on the up. Like, in the next couple of years, their window is starting to open. If Caleb is who we think he can be.
Yeah, the thing that stood out the most to me in week 8, I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe, just maybe, the Bills can do this thing. I don't know, man. I just feel like if they keep running the ball the way that they run the ball, and Josh Allen's playing at such a high level right now, the defense just shut down the Seahawks. They have a nice trio of receivers with, they just got Amari Cooper, and then Shakir has been kind of Josh Allen's around the line of scrimmage guy to make things happen after the catch. And Keon Coleman's just this big body guy that can make things happen. I really liked him when he was at Florida State. Nice trio of guys. You also got Dalton Kincaid at tight end. The offensive line is really putting in work for this run game. And Josh Allen just kind of puts the Superman cape on sometimes. Tommy, you mentioned it in the group chat. Congratulations, Buffalo, on winning the division in Week 8 because holy mother of God.
There's not much competition there, so.
No, I honestly think part of me is like, yeah, if you just rest Josh Allen for the next month, you could get away with it.
Yeah, they've got a tough schedule coming up, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out.
Okay, I wouldn't say tough. You have Dolphins and Colts.
Right. No. After those 2 weeks.
Chiefs, 49ers, Rams, Lions. That's your big stretch. Okay, but here's before the playoffs. Patriots, Jets, Patriots. If you want a nice pillow for it beforehand,
a lot of things could happen with those Chiefs, 49ers, Lions games. You could have a lot of injuries happen. All it takes is a couple injuries to really knock a dent into that offense and defense. So
I know this. I know we usually talk football on here, but the Bills currently remind me of the Toronto Maple Leafs. No, because the fact that
Canadians are coming out.
For the Bills, the regular season does not matter. The only thing that matters for them is the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how they perform against the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Rams. Like, it may be an indicator of how they perform, but, like, if they can't get out of their own way in the playoffs, then...
You could have just said that the Bills are the Ravens, because they're basically, two sides of the same coin as far as... At least we've seen Josh Allen play very well in the playoffs, whereas most of the time Lamar Jackson plays his worst games come playoff time. Josh Allen doesn't really have that issue, but the Ravens have also been more dominant in the regular season, so more's been expected of them come playoff time.
Here's the thing, though. This is why I bring up the Leafs in particular, is every time the Bills lose, it's always some goddamn heartbreak. And either overtime or some crazy-ass play. And the Leafs do the same exact thing. It's something that they won their first playoff round since like 1993, I think it was, this past year. And even then, it's like there was no happiness because they got steamrolled by the Florida Panthers who won the cup. Like this is a team that they've put so much investment into this team. They paid the money out. They're making the trades to try and do things, and they just can't seem to get over the hump. So.
All right, let's move on over to Week 9 now and get our predictions for the week of NFL football. And we got to start with the Jets, I guess. Texans and the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football. Connor, where are you going with this one?
I think we
Jets.
It's not a team. So you're picking the Texans?
I'm picking the Texans. I'm saying the opposite of the Jets.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where you just kind of can't make me take the Jets. If I'm being honest, I'd love to. It'd make me happy, and I could definitely see a route where it happens. But I'm not doing it. I
want to bring up one more thing too while we're on this too. Is that I just think it's very comical. We talked about this at the beginning of the year where like all the stations like, oh, the Jets owe us, like all these these primetime games is happening all over again, baby.
Yep.
I just don't know how you can be that gleeful about it. I'm just sad.
If you want lower bowl seats, they're like $20. So you want to catch a game, here's the time.
I don't want to watch bad football.
Unfortunately,
I've been suffering through a lot of that. Cowboys, Falcons.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
I have to pick a team to win this game.
Falcons.
I'm leaning Atlanta as well.
Honestly, that was so.
I think Atlanta just runs the piss out of the football.
My pick for last week, the Atlanta-Tampa game, was the one I had the most struggle on picking, and I should have went with my gut. My gut was Atlanta, and I just did not do that. I just thought Buccaneers just take care of the game. But Atlanta.
I don't know if I actually made my predictions last week.
You didn't.
If I entered them in,
And
I
Connor
texted
didn't do
Tommy,
his
like, here, I
either.
can't get to a computer.
I
Here you go.
guarantee you, I know I got most of them wrong. So like, I will be
So,
honest, but
I
Just
didn't
text
yeah,
them to
I
me
was
and I'll
happy with
get them
that.
for
But
you.
that was the one.
I-
That was the one I was kind of sad on. I was like, it was a close game, and I think the Falcons are very competitive, and they're home, and they can take care of business here.
Dolphins, Bills. I gotta
Bills.
go Buffalo here. Yeah.
There's no.
Raiders, Bengals. I know I talked bad about the Bengals, but come on, it's the Raiders. I'm going Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't trust Vegas. AOC is on the
Chargers and Browns. Herbert's playing really good football right now. As much as I like what Jameis has going on, I just think the Chargers roll.
I think that the Chargers defense has been impressive, and I think I had the Chargers in this one as well because they've been holding teams to quite low scores. They have not allowed more than 20 points all season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They most allowed was to the Steelers for 20 points, which is a weird team to let 20 points to.
Yeah. I don't know.
Russ
Browns on
Wilson's
this
looked
one.
really good, by the way. I've been really surprised with how well he's been throwing the football.
Yeah, that
He
team.
looked in Denver.
Yeah.
He's playing really well.
And I gotta say, I wasn't on the podcast during that week, but props to Justin Fields. Like, yeah, like if I play better, I would still be the starter. And like, I going back to Tua, that was something where Fields was like, the accountability was there. That was nice to see from him.
He gave the diplomatic answer that you expect your quarterback to give.
Exactly.
And I thought that Fields played well enough to keep that job, but not well enough to where it's like, okay,
roster off.
I don't understand the trade at all or the move at all. I get it, and Russ has rewarded them with it. Patriots Titans for all 6.5 of you that are going to be watching this game. I'm gonna go with New England. I don't like that I'm going New England, but I'm going New England.
Is May gonna be playing healthy? Because
I don't know.
Because
But I also don't know who the quarterback for Tennessee is going to be. I think it's going to be Mason Rudolph. But, like, does it matter?
I think it does actually in this case. Is I think if May does play, this line does shift. I think May
Well,
has been.
I meant, like, as far as the Titans quarterback goes. Yeah, I'd much rather have it be May for... But, I mean, as bad as the Jets have played, Brissett actually looked pretty good. Brissett played well against the Jets. And he took some shots while delivering some good throws.
I'll go New England. I'll join you on that one.
Commanders, Giants. I just don't... Yeah, I'm going... I think Daniels torches them through the air. Saints, Panthers. I've definitely got the Saints here. I think the Panthers are a bit of a mess.
So real quick,
New Orleans been a mess too, though. Spencer Rattler has not been it.
I don't know whether it's going to be Rattler or Hayner or someone said Carr might be coming back. I don't
actually
know.
now I'm thinking about. I think literally I just looked on ESPN. Carr. This is the most frustrating injury I ever had. But he said he's set for return, so he should be starting this game. If Carr starts, I'm taking the Saints.
I'm taking the Saints regardless if he starts. But
If it was Rattler, I would take the Panthers because they've been that
Broncos
bad.
and Ravens. Bo Nix has actually been playing quite well lately. I've been impressed with what I've seen, but I also think that this is a comeback down to earth moment for Denver as a whole. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, my gut says Ravens too. They haven't really played anyone really either. So
Jacksonville and Philly. I really low on Jacksonville at the moment. Give me Philly.
yeah, Philly. Jacksonville is a non-threat. That is a team that's in the freaking toilet bowl. They were just circling down the drain.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Peterson loses that job. Bears and Cardinals. I'm gonna go with Arizona to win this game. Like I said, I think that we're kind of at a fork in the road moment for the Bears season. I don't like it because I like watching them play and I think their defense is terrific. But I also just think that Kyler Murray finds a way to get this win for Arizona. And don't look now, the Cardinals in first place in the NFC West. I know they're tied with basically every team, but they do technically hold the tiebreakers at the moment.
Yes, at 4-4.
Yeah.
Give me the Bears. I think the Bears can get this
Very
one
reasonable.
defense.
Yeah.
I've been a big Bears fan this year, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm riding the train.
Oh, I totally get it. Lions Packers.
Good game.
I'm
I
excited for that one.
Oh no.
would actually take the Packers if Jordan Love was healthy and ready to go. But Jordan Love is, I don't think, going to play. I don't think Jordan Love's playing this game. And if he does, he's going to be banged up. So give me the Lions to go and get a big road win in Lambeau.
Yeah, I would go the Lions as well. They're saying that he's going to play without practice anyway, so like it's a realistic start. But even then, like we saw him when he came back against the Vikings, and he looked good, but like no.
No, he's a good quarterback.
But I just think the Lions' offense is just humming right now, and that running game between Montgomery and Gibbs,
Jahmyr Gibbs.
they've just been on fire. You just cannot stop.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yes, I love. Oh, that's a great analogy. I love that so much.
Rams and Seahawks. This is a big one in the NFC West.
I'm going Seahawks.
I'm going to go Seattle here. I've been a really big fan of Geno Smith so far this season. Now, he was awful against Buffalo, but he also didn't have DK Metcalf, and they got behind early. I think Seattle finds a way to win this game. And the Rams aren't as bad as they were without Kupp and Puka, but they're not as good as they seemed on Thursday night.
Now I'm going Rams. I think Seattle's been the one that like they have not. Seattle's been the team this year where I'm like, what are you? Because they've had some good games, and they had some games where I'm like, it just looks like a complete befuddlement. No, I thought the Bills game would be a lot more competitive, and they just weren't. And it could be credit to the Bills just being, leveling up finally, or it could just be Seattle just treading water, and treading water in this division is not going to make you last.
No.
Like when you when you have a team that loses to the Giants, for God's sakes, like that raises flags no matter what.
Yeah.
Whoever your quarterback is.
Giants without Malik Neighbors.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wasn't a good loss at home.
Like the only quality win they have is the Falcons, and that's it.
Colts Vikings. Colts making the change to go to Joe Flacco instead of riding with Richardson, which I think is a very short-sighted decision for the team. You have to see what you have with Richardson, and I think the Vikings pummel the Colts.
I think Flacco will make this a close game. Like I think that the Colts will cover, but Vikings will win.
And then Monday night, Tampa, Kansas City, which is a great game on paper, but like Tampa's beat to hell and back. Baker's turning the ball over a little bit more because Godwin and Evans are both gone. Evans should be back at some point later in the season, but Godwin's done for the year.
That hurts a lot for them because he was playing so well.
He was playing better in the slot than I think any other receiver in the league so far this season. I think Kansas City wins this one. I don't think it's particularly close.
I think the line on this is insane to me though. Like Kansas City -9. Like the 2-score game to me is too far for this. Like I think it's gonna be a low scoring. I think it's gonna be 21-17.
Okay, that's I can see Kansas City wanting to play more of a low scoring game because they're a very defensive team. That's their bread and butter this year. It's not
it's kind of funny where
deep ball.
It's kind of funny where Kansas City, the current iteration of Kansas City reminds me of those real 5-6 years ago Mike Tomlin teams. They're just like, we're just gonna win and we don't care how. We're just gonna grind you out and that's it.
It reminds me a lot of the 2018 Patriots.
That too.
Where the late version of Brady where the receivers weren't great. They had an aging Gronk. The defense, Gilmore was playing incredibly like McDuffie's
You had the
right
twins.
now. The McCourties,
Yeah. Are you raw, baby?
You have a steady offensive line. You have a stable of running backs, none of which are really the bell cow, but guys,
that's a really good analogy. And guess what? They're still a wagon, and and they have a great coach.
Yeah, but it also means that that Patriots team from 2019 lost in the first round of the playoffs. The Chiefs doing any number of things in the playoffs wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
if they won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be shocked. If they lost in the first round after getting the 1 seed to Baltimore or Buffalo, I wouldn't be surprised with that either, because they just seem like they can run the ball even better than they were able to in past years, which for Baltimore is really saying something.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that'll wrap things up for this weekly recess. Be sure to join us next week when hopefully we're talking about a Thursday night football victory for the New York Jets going into a Week 10 road showdown with the Cardinals, maybe. We'll see what happens.
I'm shaking my head no, people. No. I'm
being
realistic here.
By the way, next Sunday, next Sunday night football, Lions at Texans.
It's a fun
one. that could be a really good game. And Nico Collins is supposed to be back for the Texans for that game, so even better.
Sounds fun.
All right, so for Tommy Grant, as to Connor VanDemark, I'm Mitchell Lea. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.